There's only one little thing wrong with your idea. There ain't nothing to torpedo.
Oh, yes, there is.
Is what?
Something to torpedo.
What's that?
The Louisa.
Meet Rose Sayer, the original action-adventure heroine.
Fancy me a heroine.
Although The African Queen may seem a far cry from what we think of as action-adventure these days, in 1951, it was state-of-the-art. And at its center was a female action hero who has not been rivaled since. What makes an action hero? Well, there's initiative.
You simply can't remain here in this backwater until the war is over, Mr. Orr.
Intelligence.
But all those things, those gyroscopes and things, they're only to make it...
Tenacity.
You promised you'd go down the river.
Resourcefulness. Courage.
How long will it take to get the torpedoes
And of
ready?
course, higher purpose. Rose Sayer has plenty of all those things. But is it only those qualities that have endeared her to several generations of filmgoers? She journeys down a wild and dangerous river to do a job normally expected of a man. But what she gains along the way is all about who she is as a woman. When we meet Rose, she is dutifully serving as helpmate to her brother Samuel, the local missionary, and determinedly upholding British propriety with Charlie Allnut, the local boatman.
Do have some more bread and butter, Mr. Allnut.
Upon learning from Charlie of the war in Europe, Rose exhibits a woman's sense of prudence and caution.
Shouldn't we perhaps try to get to Limbasi while we
But she
can?
is ignored,
Good shepherd doesn't desert his flock when the wolves are
and
prowling.
soon she is alone. In her brother's delusional ravings before he dies, she learns the real reason she was brought to Africa.
Not comely among the maidens, but she too can be a servant in the house of the Lord.
Forlorn and adrift, she has no choice but to join Charlie on his boat. However, upon seeing his resources, she immediately concocts a plan to go down the river and blow up the German battleship. Charlie expects to deter her with her first set of rapids. Instead, she is thrilled.
I can hardly wait.
What miss?
Now that I've had a taste of it.
So Charlie gets drunk and calls her a psalm-singing, skinny old maid. And it begins to seem like the more men tell her she's ugly, the more determined she becomes to blow up that ship. When they actually succeed at both passing the German fort and going down the rapids, she is again exhilarated. In a way, falling in love with Charlie is the ultimate defiance of her brother's poor estimation of her. But this is not a simple happily ever after story. In this romance, the nascent relationship must prove itself through a series of tests and trials. First, there's repairing the propeller and drive shaft, when we see Charlie sink into discouragement and Rose gently nudge him toward a solution. Then there's drifting into a swarm of insects, when we see Rose lose her composure and Charlie compensate with quick action. Whereas with her brother, Rose was entirely submissive, and initially with Charlie, she only exerted power. Being in love, she learns the give and take of partnership. By the time they reach the river delta, they are cooperating seamlessly. But the reeds get the better of them,
I pray for you to be merciful.
and Rose makes a plea to the heavens.
Judge us not for our weakness, but for our love. And open the doors of heaven for Charlie and me.
The subtext here is that Rose is asking God's forgiveness for having had sex outside of marriage, which means she's accepted love over orthodox morality, and she's willing to believe the God she's praying to will do so as well. She has become a sexual woman. Happily, the rains come and they are saved by the flood. So they set about their preparations. But their mission doesn't come off exactly as planned.
Charlie,
Learning that Charlie has been sentenced to hang,
are they going to hang you, Charlie?
Rose stays true to her word and confesses defiantly.
Very well, ask your questions.
Then fate steps in once again, and their mission is fulfilled after all. What sets Rose apart as an action heroine is not that she plays the lone hero as a man would. Rather, she succeeds in her adventure through cooperation, communication, and emotional authenticity. She needs Charlie's resources and skill to accomplish her goal, just as Charlie needs her to push him out of his comfort zone and empower him into believing he's up to the task. By the end, there's no doubt that Charlie has stepped up to become more of a man. But the reason they succeed is that Rose has discovered her best attributes as a woman.
I never dreamed that any mere physical experience could be so stimulating.
How's that, miss?